We then started dating, I think 2009. And look, the age, he always said to me, age is nothing but a number. And I think the first 2 years were a challenge, but I ended up accepting it, that look, he's younger than me, that is what he wants, that is what I wanted. And we started dating. We had a very good relationship. I think the basis of our relationship was friendship, because we're more of friends more than anything else. Everything else was added on, but we're closer and tighter as friends than the actual relationship, which is why even when we went our separate ways in 2018, we still remained very close friends, and people never understood why we're still friends. Some others were saying they broke up, others were saying they didn't break up, others were saying we're together. We remained friends till the last day. Or like they say, they would never understand the relationship I had with Genius. No one can ever understand that. Up to the day of his death, the previous weekend before he died, I went for a function in his area, and then after the function, I decided, oh, let me go and see Genius. I've not seen him in a while. I think I've not seen him in a week or so. I went there on a Saturday. I go to his house. Usually, I would never just go to his house, just like would just not come to mind. We would phone each other. Are you okay? Are you free? Can I come through? I would go and visit him. So that Saturday, I just went to visit him. He was shocked to see me by his gate. I said, no, it's okay. I've just come to see you, check if you're okay. It's been a while. He got there, I think it was around 3-4 in the afternoon. I spent literally the whole afternoon into the night, around 11-12. Then I came back home. He was now going to the club. That's actually the last time I saw Genius. It's like I went there to say goodbye. I have no regrets. At least I got to spend some time with him. I spent a good 4, 5, 6 hours with him. We had dinner, and then he went to the club. Then I went home. And fine, I spoke to Genius. He's one of those people that every day of my life, after my exercise, 6 a.m., I'm done. First person I call is Genius. If I didn't call him by 6:30, he would call. Wang, Deipi, are you okay? Is everything okay? What's going on today? That was Genius for you. We had a very good relationship. We understood each other. I don't think there will be anyone that I can ever, or any friend or male friend that can get me the way Genius got me. I remember when I was still staying with him in Lomboshawa, he used to say, this is where I want you to be buried. This is where we are going to be buried. And he always believed I was going to die before him. I think maybe because of the age difference. He always thought I was going to die before him. But unfortunately, he went before me. And I have got no regrets. He was a good man. We shared what we shared. And I would do it over again.
So Zodwa, were you really married to Ginimbi?
Well, on the time of his death, we were divorced. We were no longer living together. We got engaged. He paid his bride price. We never had a white wedding, but traditionally, yes.
Okay, and how was your separation like? Was your separation amicable?
It was very amicable. That's why, I mean, if it was rough, I'm sure you guys, you know social media in Zimbabwe. People don't talk. They still said so much rubbish. We agreed to disagree. I was not happy. He didn't want me to leave. But for some reasons, best known that I cannot share publicly, I mean, he's not here to defend himself. So even if I said what we agreed or what we did not agree, he's not here to defend himself. So I would rather not talk about them. We agreed with Genius. We went our separate ways, but we remained, which is why we remained friends. He came to my house whenever he wanted. He had a very good relationship with my kids. Sometimes I would come home, I would find him having lunch or having dinner with the girls. They loved him to bits, especially the younger girl. My younger girl, Melissa, was, I think, 5 years when I started dating Genius. So literally, Genius is the father that she knew, is the father that brought her, which is why she calls her dad.
All right, Zodwa, and then there's an issue of people saying that Ginimbi had a snake that was vomiting money. So what can you say about that?
I really wish that was true.
Zodwa, if he did, please, I need you to tell me where
I really wish, like right now, I really wish he had that snake, because I will inherit it. It would vomit that money for me. But I mean, look, if a snake can vomit money, Josie, it means I must not put as much work as I'm putting now, because I've got easy money that just come. A snake will just vomit. I just pick the money. I go and buy a Louis Vuitton. I buy an LV shoe. I buy Gucci. I buy whatever I want, because it's easy money. But Genius, was a hard worker. That boy did not sleep. He worked throughout. Genius would go to Zambia to go and buy gas. He will go to Congo to look for new business ventures. He went everywhere. He would go to Mozambique. He went everywhere. As far as I knew him, Genius would leave me. He lived between Zimbabwe and South Africa. I would go to South Africa. I never saw anything amiss in his house. Anything that showed that Genius had a snake. If he had a snake, it meant I knew about the snake. Because if he then went to South Africa and left me in Zimbabwe for a month, I needed to feed the snake. Otherwise, the snake would feed on me. So I never came across that snake, if ever it was there. Even if I went to South Africa, I never saw the snake. So I don't know where these people... And the problem with us Africans, an African person can never be wealthy because of hard work. You have to have had JUJU or something that makes you rich. Yet, if Genius was white, I don't think anyone would be talking about JUJU or snakes or anything. He was just a hard worker who enjoyed his life, who enjoyed his money, who enjoyed his fun. That was Genius for you.
And some people also wanted me to ask you if you know about Genius's relationship when he was still alive with his father. Was his relationship with his father perfect?
Well, I never saw anything wrong with the relationship with the father. It was like his father and son relationship. He would go and they didn't stay in the same house. Daddy stays about, I think, 100 to 200 meters away from from Genius' house. Let's correct one thing. It's been all over social media that Zodwa is claiming his estate. He wants to take the house. He wants to do this.
That's why we have this platform to clear all these issues.
I do not want to take Genius' house. As much as the house is mine, I lived with that guy for 10 years. And you know, by the rules of Zimbabwe, if you live with a man for 6 months, automatically married or not married, you become married. So whatever you acquire together, you are supposed to share 50-50. Genius, we built that house together from scratch. The first brick, we put it in together. At that time, Genius was staying with me in my Highlands house when we built in that house. We built it from day one until it was finished. I don't want anything to do with the house. Yes, Genius' last wish, he wanted that house to be turned into a hotel. I support that 100%. I'm going to make sure that comes to pass. I'm going to assist the family to make sure that that hotel is a success and we advertise, we market it. I run a travel agency. So through Traverse Travel, we're going to make sure that we market the Domboshawa Mansion to become the hotel that Genius wanted it to be. I'm not claiming anything there. I don't want anything to do with Genius' house. As much as I'm a part owner, but I don't want anything to. I've got my own properties. I've got my own house, which is equally as big as the Domboshawa Mansion, which Genius himself built. He helped me build my house. So I've got no reason to want to get his house when he's dead, when I could have gotten it when he was alive. So that is... Whoever thinks I'm going to do that, they've got something wrong. There's something wrong with them. We've never discussed the house, either with his family or myself with my friends. I've got no intentions whatsoever. My intention is to make sure I support Juliet, Nelia, and Baba. To make sure that everything that Genius owned, his legacy lives on. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to help them, assist them whenever they need me. They can call on me anytime. We have got no beef. We're very close, actually. Genius or not Genius, we've got our own bond that we've always had over the years. That Genius made possible. So I've got nothing against anybody, especially his immediate family. The boys bought him a coffin from South Africa. He loved Versace, as you all know. His coffin was a Versace coffin. It came from South Africa. And people say that he bought his own coffin before he died. That's not correct. That coffin was bought by Genius' friends from South Africa. Then it was brought into Zimbabwe.
Did Genius have a child?
Okay, up to the time of his death, none that we know of. There's only one that we knew of, which we both looked after because we had taken that child in with Genius. We thought the child was his child. But we did a DNA, and the DNA was negative. It was all over the newspapers. I'm sure those that read newspapers, they know about that. So not that we know of. Genius never had a child. I know they say there's a child in South Africa, and that child that they put in South Africa who said, why did you leave me there? That's my daughter. That Genius was wearing a red thing and with a young girl holding him like this. That's my daughter that was holding Genius. That's the child that they've given a name, Tatenda, or whatever name they've given that girl. That's Melissa. That's my daughter. So, biologically, no. But yes, he raised my kids.
Someone says Ginimbi was married before you. Where is that woman? She was really sick in 2014.
She's very well. She's alive. I know her. I've met her. And she's not sick at all.
People are asking, Zodwa, how old are you?
I'm 48, proudly 48, to be 49 in February, and 50 in 2022. And I'm throwing a massive party in Dombo Shower Mansion Hotel.
Yay! That's good.
And the white parties are going to continue, by the way, as a memory to Ginimbi. 10th of October every year, we'll try to make sure that we always have something going on at the mansion in memory of Genius.
And the white parties were not a ritual or some sort of...
Never a ritual. Those white parties started 2010. I was there when the first party happened. There were no rituals. It just was white party because he wanted to dress in white and he wanted something that that was said, this is what Ginimbi started, which is the white parties. So they were never about any rituals. It's people don't want to listen to people that have something of their own. It's like me at Travel. Every year, I've got parties that I do. They're not rituals. I'm thanking my clients for the business that they've given me throughout the year. Only that I don't have a dress code, which is all white. We dress differently. We've got a different theme every year. So people can't say it's a ritual because I'm having a Christmas party every year.
Ginimbi, my life, your TV.
My life, your TV. We'll surely miss him, but anyway.
Be our finger.
Everyone, I mean, we all have our days. One day it will be me, tomorrow it could be you. But, you know, he enjoyed his life. So we're going to miss him. May his soul rest in peace. But we will forever miss him. And we will forever, especially the Ginimbi TV. People loved it. I hated it because of what used to happen on that live thing. And you will say to me, problem with you, Zodwa, this is social media. You know the real Ginimbi. This is social media. Don't mix the two.
And you say, no, Josie.
He said it's social media. He says, no, paying very well. No, from social media. You know, social media. Twitter is social media. No, fans are my fans. You know, Ziva, the real me. That's what he used to do. So that was for his fans, not for his family. Us were not allowed to watch it. Though we ended up seeing it, you know, people look screenshot and forward and all that. I never once watched it because every time after that I would fight with him. We've got kids that will be watching.
But he entertained his fans and his fans mourned him. The guy was mourned. So I don't think I've seen anybody in Zimbabwe who's been mourned the way Ginimbi was mourned. He had
an impact on, especially in the youth, with the youth. You know, when we were coming, the young kids had placards asking who is going to buy us pizza, who is going to buy me school shoes, who is going to pay my school fees. You know, all of them had different things written on those placards. So it means that he really did something good for his village, for the villagers. You know, he did something good for Domboshawa. I'm sure they are the most hurt. He was stolen away from them. He was going to do more for them. If maybe he had been given another 5 or 10 years, he would have transformed that village to something far much better than what it is right now. That village has got value now. If you buy land there, I'm sure you won't pay, though there's no title deeds. I'm sure the land there is very expensive now because of the Dombashawa mansion and the roads that he put. Because when we were building, there was no tarred road. So he put that tarred road himself from the main roads right through to the mansion.